Hello everyone. In this video I will be discussing all of your unpopular K-pop opinions. I am going to make you suffer once again by listening to this beautiful robotic voice.
Just kidding, guys. I'm actually using my real voice in this video. So anyone who kept nagging at me that the robotic voice was getting annoying and that they stopped watching my videos, you are welcome. I hope you don't regret this. So I am making this video in celebration of 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much to everyone who subscribed to my channel. That means that people actually like my content, which is insane. And also thank you to everyone who submitted their own unpopular K-pop opinions. Some of you wrote me a whole list of them, which I won't be able to discuss all of them because I actually got too many. So thank you for not making this video idea flop because that would have been real awkward. But yeah, I won't be able to discuss all of them, but I have read all of your unpopular K-pop opinions. And I've tried liking as many of them as I could. And secondly, I won't be discussing opinions about groups that I still want to do videos on, or certain opinions that I've already discussed in previous videos. So let's get started. The first opinion that I will be discussing comes from a user whose name is written in Hangul, so I'm not going to even bother to butcher that. The opinion was, I think Twice are very talented girls, but some things holding them back to live up to their talents. I think this has to do with two main aspects. The first one being dance, which I already touched on in my Twice video, so to quickly summarize that for you, Twice's dances are choreographed in a way that make it very easy for the general public to learn them and to dance along, which is just the way that they were marketed, um, which was a smart move on the company's part or whoever manages Twice. Um, technically there's nothing wrong with that, but I can't find the word. The downside of that, I guess, is that, yeah, it doesn't really do justice to their dance ability or their talent when it comes to dance, because we all know that Twice do have some talented dancers. But yes, Twice's choreography doesn't really allow those dancers to show off their talent. The second thing is their vocal range, or the vocal range in the songs of Twice is usually very high pitched, which is fine if you're a main vocalist or a lead vocalist like Jihyo, Nayeon, Chungyeon, or even Mina. I know she's not like technically a lead or a main vocalist, um, and Chaeyoung, because I think they have a good vocal ability. So I think they are able to adapt to that high register. But if you are a sub vocalist and you have to keep up with the rest of the group and your vocal ability is not that great, you're unfortunately going to fall out of the boat, and it's going to cause a lot of people to think that you can't sing when it's just a register that you're not super comfortable with and that's not developed yet. Do I think that they can't grow in that? No, yes. What did I just say? I believe that they can grow in their vocal register, but of course they're sub vocalists for a reason, and main vocalists and lead vocalists are in their position for a reason. But yeah, of course that high register for people who are sub vocalists is of course not going to do them justice. I wish that they would give some members or just a group a song that would no, that's not the word I'm looking for. No. Wait, what? Experiment. Oh god, it's late. With maybe a different genre or a different vocal range that would allow the sub vocalist maybe or all the members to shine more. I think that would be a great thing. The second opinion comes from Sabrina Giles. I hope I'm saying that right. My opinion, today's K-pop artists slash groups don't have their own freedom to convey their individuality through their music and compared or in comparison to the artists slash groups we saw a couple of years ago that were able to. The K-pop industry today relies too much on making idols perfect and manufacturing them without letting their artistry strive in the sense that would give people a reason to appreciate what they sing about and to be seen as genuine. Not that K-pop idols today are fake, but I have a feeling that K-pop, who is K-pop? K-pop would be better that way again. Now, I found this comment interesting. I mean, I do see where you're coming from because there are indeed groups out there who don't really have a lot of say in their music and don't have involvement in creating their songs or um, composing their songs. That was the word I was looking for. Um, but I don't think it's fair to make that generalization because there are so many groups out there who have that artistic involvement in their songs. For example, Pentagon, Hui, is oftentimes composing their songs. Edon as well. Kino of Pentagon usually choreographs for the group. Mamamoo is highly involved. They usually help writing lyrics. Who else? Of course, I can't. I'm not going to be able to list every K-pop group that is involved. Um, there's another group. Ellie from EXID is also highly involved in writing raps and composing songs. There's another group that I wanted to mention, but I can't think of them right now. But, well, I think it's more common with groups that start off earlier that don't immediately get involvement. Other groups do. It just kind of depends from management to management company. Um, the amount of artistic freedom that the idols get. I I personally do like it when artists get creative freedom. That goes for pop music, that goes for K-pop. I love that when artists are involved in the process. And the reason why I love that is because the songs feel more personal. So I do absolutely agree in that part of your opinion. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about other like rookie groups, like Wikimeki. They have a great discography. Oh, you know who? Pristin. Sungyeon of Pristin actually is also really involved in writing lyrics. So I think there are tons of examples of groups out there who are, and BTS of course, is also very involved in writing and composing. So I mean, I don't think it's completely fair to say that the entire new generation of K-pop is unauthentic because that's not true. There are in fact a lot of groups that are involved creatively in the writing process, composing process, etc. Um, but yeah, of course that doesn't go for every group. It just depends from company, as I said before. But yeah, I think that um, letting or allowing your idols to be involved in the process really gives a great feeling of authenticity and individuality. Wow, that's difficult to the songs, and I think it is a great value. So yeah, and I wish that would be that would be possible for every K-pop group out there. Courtney Marie, international fans need to stop hating on 101 or saying IOI deserved better. It's getting annoying. 101 got better treatment because they realized how popular IOI got. I've seen a lot of people blame this or say that 101's getting better treatment because they're a boy group and um, if people are discriminating or are against girl groups and that's why IOI didn't get a more fair treatment. I don't think it's the case. You have to realize that IOI and Produce 101 was an experiment. So they did not know what the outcome would be, neither did the companies of the trainees that made it into IOI. So you can't expect them to have as stable situations as they now do with 101. Of course, I mean, I know how loved IOI was. Of course, you would, I mean, I would have loved to see their contract, is that the word? Extended. But, it was just a test phase. And I think after seeing how well IOI did, of course they want to recreate that success, but with the boy group, and then approach it with a better tactic, I guess, which you can't expect them to get that strategy and get that tactic of how they're going to market and handle and manage IOI right from the bat, because they don't know what the outcome is going to be of the experiment after all. This unpopular opinion comes from Cookies and Cream. They said K-pop stans mostly don't care about problematic things for the issue themselves. Rather, it's a game of which idol is going to get bashed and dragged for it. And as long as it's not my idol, then I'm okay with it. I've seen this, where people on stan Twitter read or hear something, and it is indeed not that they care about the issue that is being talked about and why that's offensive or ignorant that the idol did it. It's more like this taking part in the canceled culture and jumping on the hate bandwagon. Once an idol has done something problematic, we're just going to hate them forever. But as long as it's not indeed, as they said, their own idol, then it's fine. Just like live it up, hate on them, write nasty comments about them every single minute of my day. But then when it comes to their own idol that has done something wrong, they will either turn a blind eye, or they will just like defend them like their life depends on it. But you cannot apply one logic for one group and then not apply the same logic for another group. That doesn't add up. 1 plus 1 is not 4, sweetie. If that's you, then I advise you to take a step back and reassess your behavior. 1, sweetie, please don't just jump to conclusions. Okay? Read further into things. And 2, don't go around calling other people's groups problematic when your group has done something similar and maybe not even stepped up to the plate to apologize or anything. Because that's just pure hypocrisy. And that's not a good look. Opinion number 6 comes from Criss Cross. Imagine if that was actually your name, Criss Cross. I like that. I want to see your ID, Criss Cross. I want your name to be actually Criss Cross. That would be amazing. Okay, anyways. Unpopular opinion. Blackpink playing with fire and BTS Blood, Sweat and Tears are a masterpiece. The vocals, visuals, and song are on point. It was released a year ago, and I still can't get over both songs. I completely agree with this. Blood, Sweat, and Tears? What? Blood, Sweat, and Tears was actually the first video of BTS that I saw. My friend showed it to me because she's an ARMY, and I was shooketh. It's beautiful, and Playing with Fire by Blackpink is art, in my opinion. You may not like the songs, but hey, different strokes for different folks, I guess. Namjoon Heart. My unpopular opinion. If YG doesn't let Blackpink have a full album and they keep releasing mini albums with recycled songs, they'll flop. Disclaimer, I'm a Blink and I don't really want this to happen, but I feel it might. I don't agree with this. I don't think they will flop at all, because Blackpink already has such a huge fan base, mostly internationally. And I think people will literally hype up or be excited for anything that Blackpink releases, even though if it would be recycled. I mean, I think the recycled songs might be referring to Forever Young, which I don't know why people have like such a problem with Forever Young being quote unquote recycled, because it's not even a song you heard before. I don't see the problem with that, but that might be me. Yeah, I don't know. I think people will still hype up Blackpink even though if they don't release a full album. The next opinion comes from Ayla. Underrated groups seem to be more talented, create better music than popular groups. I think it's because the popular groups are popular for following a greatly liked concept, while underrated groups have their own way. Now, I find this an interesting opinion because I think if you think back that every group that's considered to be popular now all had to start somewhere, and I think some of those groups definitely had a different concept in the beginning, or a more quote unquote original concept in the beginning. I'm gonna use Mamamoo for an example. Um, in the beginning, they kind of like had the retro concept, but now it's more evolved to like I know they've been playing around with a lot of genres as of lately. Maybe because they have because they have gained more popularity. And maybe it is that underrated groups feel that it's safer to stick to a certain genre that they know that their fan base that they have at the time likes. And maybe once they have really established their name, that they want to experiment and see what's out there. Um, I don't know, that might have to do with it. Um, it also could be that underrated groups feel less pressure to follow trends and to just kind of go along with whatever they want to go with. I think it might be a combination of both. But yeah, I don't think it necessarily is that they're more talented. I think it's just a different dynamic because they're considered to be underrated. The next opinion comes from Spinach. 1B Cube is going to be fine with Hyuna, and Hyuna is going to be fine without Cube. Did you see their stocks drop after they kicked out Edon and Hyuna? Cause girl, sis, that was tragic. They dropped faster than my grades in high school. It really was something. And therefore, I don't think that Cube Entertainment is going to be fine without Hyuna. Because Hyuna is one of the idols that really made Cube as successful as they are today. And Hyuna leaving Cube Entertainment is going to cause major damage. Of course, they have other talented artists like Idol, Pentagon, CLC, BTOB, but not all of them already have that much of an established career that you can be super successful based off of them, which is, I mean, that sounds so rude. And I hate it because I love all those artists, but that just makes me really worried for them. And I don't want Cube to take the other artists down because of the whole situation, but I want to touch on that in a separate video. But yeah, I don't think that they will be fine without Hyuna. I mean, Hyuna's going to be fine for sure. I mean, I am sure that the entertainment companies are lining up for her. They have to audition for her. I'm 100% sure that Hyuna would be fine if they are going to drop them because, well, apparently they decided to change their mind on that after seeing their stocks drop. Well, I hope that they don't drop them. But we shall see. The last comment comes from Namjoon Cheddar. K-pop has always been westernized. I mean, I'm not an expert in K-pop, but I've heard K-pop since the second generation, even though I wasn't a fan at the time yet. And I listened to some first generation K-pop songs as well. And I just don't get the people who say that the third generation of K-pop is westernized or this certain group is too westernized because I'm sorry if I offend anyone, but the first generation of K-pop is kind of heavily inspired by Western music. Or by hip hop, which of course originated from African American culture. And the second generation of K-pop sounds like early 2000 pop songs with a bit of J-pop mixed in it, which again is influenced by the Western music. So, what is wrong with K-pop and the third generation being similar with popular Western music? Because that's what things are like. Trends change, and so do the market. So does the market. Wow. Like, you cannot just stick with the same trends because that will get repetitive and original over time. Please get over it. I do agree that K-pop has always been Western, hence the name K-pop, Korean pop music in Korean. But some people like to put K-pop in this little original bubble and like to put it on this pedestal, like it's this thing that is sacred and different, while it isn't. I'm sorry, but it's just a little bit ignorant to say that K-pop is not influenced by the Western music industry, because it is. Even in the first generation, if you listen to the girl groups back then, they were very heavily inspired by the American um, girl groups out there, like SES, I'm Your Girl. Sounds like a very typical 90s song that even could have played in the US or all around the world if it were to be in English. Even in the second generation, the songs were also inspired by certain Western music trends that were trendy at the time. And even now in the third generation, that's a thing. And no, there is nothing wrong with having a preference towards preferring the first generation, the second generation, or the third generation. There's nothing wrong with that. But saying, oh, the second generation of K-pop was better because it sounded like its own unique thing, and today it sounds too Western. That's just because, like Namjoon Cheddar said, trends in music change. Music evolves constantly. And yeah, I think if K-pop stuck to that style of music, like back in what was it, 2009, 2010, 2011, it would get boring over time because it's nothing new. If it would stay the same all the time, people would lose interest. So, the evolvement of music is just like a natural thing and it will keep happening, and maybe in the fourth generation of K-pop, it might not appeal to me personally or to you because it aren't those music trends that we're used to and that we really loved. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the music of this generation or the next generation is worse and that K-pop as a whole is worsening over time. It's just changing. And those are all of the unpopular K-pop opinions that I will be discussing for now, because there were a lot and I wanted to discuss as many as I could. But yeah, that resulted in a very lengthy video, so I hope you still enjoyed it. And if not, I'm very sorry. I cannot give you your 20 minutes back because they're mine now. Sorry about it. You know what you signed up for, sis. Anyways, please feel free to share your thoughts on the viewers' thoughts on my thoughts. That's a lot. So, anyways, feel free to do so. And I am working on another discussing common unpopular opinions video on a requested group, so please keep your eyes peeled for that.